welcome to the I Ching Cafe and our weekly I Ching overview for the week commencing the 3rd of June 2024, our first full weekly overview for June. Before we get into what is this week trying to teach us and guide us and inspire us with, let's just have a little recap back to last week. We had Hexagram 27, nourishment, the open mouth, desperately looking for nourishment, okay? And wanting to bring in that nourishment and to share that nourishment with others. So we were focused on where are we hungry? Where are we starving? Is it time, energy, connection, people, fun, joy? What was the aspect of our life that we are working with at this moment, or last week, that we needed some nourishment, and being very vigorous with going and hunting down what we needed, being the tiger and recognizing where we might be saying no to the nourishment we need, and that impacting us for a very long time to come. Plus the energy of Hexagram 30, radiance shining brightly, our opportunity to radiate and be seen and to broaden our view and to see things in a new way and to lead and to coalesce our team and the people around us around the fire, around the shared campfire experience of bringing people together and radiating brightly as a group. So for you, where were you shining brightly? Where were you leading and inspiring others to shine? And where were you feeling hungry? Where were you lacking things that you really desperately needed and had to then go and be the tiger to hunt down what you needed? Right, if there's anything that came up for you last week, please do share a comment. This week, what are we working with? Here we are in June, okay? We've just had the monthly episode that's come out. So go and work with the energy of wonderful progress, okay, and biting through, okay, tackling obstacles that are in our way. So this week, our first hexagram is hexagram 59, dispersing. I find it quite interesting that with this hexagram, it talks about obstacles and how we overcome obstacles in a different way. Okay, this is not the vigorous nature of cutting through and biting through the obstacles that we had in the monthly. This is the gentle, warming thaw of stuck issues. So you look at the structure of the hexagram, we have wind blowing across water, in this case, ice flows, okay? And what the warm wind does is gently thaw and melt the issues, okay? That is the idea. We're dispersing the obstacles. We are dispersing and clearing out the negativity. We are dispersing what no longer works. We are dispersing the hidden issues and bringing them into the light. That's the idea of the wind blowing. You can imagine like smog over a city, right? And the wind comes and blows and disperses that air, that negativity away and clarifies everything, all right? Brings everything into its full light. That's what we are doing here. So as we work with this week, our key focus is on how we bring out the things that are stuck. The idea of this kind of ice flow that the warm wind is blowing over is that stuck in that water, right? Water being very symbolic of emotions, are stuck hidden issues or stuck issues that have got locked in and stuck in place. And we have the energy this week to thaw those out and to release them. It's not a violent energy, although there certainly are some changing lines that are challenging, okay, in that direction. But this is a gentle thaw, the perseverance of the wind blowing over the stuck energy and releasing and unpacking what they mean, okay? So we tackle those in a gentle way of thawing, right, of releasing. There is one changing line in the 5th position this week, okay? And this changing line is all about the important idea or project that we are involved with at the moment, okay? So this changing line says the way that we deal with a whole lot of stuck issues, the way we disperse the obstacles and negativity that we're in, is we rally all our attention behind a great idea. And we let the great idea or the great project be the rally point for us moving forward and dispersing this energy. Okay. So whatever is on your desk at the moment, I know what mine is, right, for this week ahead. I know exactly what this project is. It is terrifying. But what we do is we use this idea, the central idea, as the rallying point to push our energy through and towards, right? We focus our energy, we put in our energy, we put in our effort and our work, and we rally everyone around a very clear central idea. The number one thing, that's the number one thing at the moment. What is that project? What's the important project that's in front of you now? And this week says we can disperse stuck energy, right, that's locked into this process by rallying ourselves and our team around this central important idea or project. And it reminds me of a dream I had many years ago. I was busy working on a very difficult project that I was struggling to find a solution to. And the dream was that I was going from earth up into the heavens, and I was pushing myself to almost try to escape gravity, almost like what a rocket does. And I was pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself. And just when I felt like I just couldn't anymore, I couldn't keep moving up, to escape gravity, this kind of stained glass window appeared, and I went through the stained glass window, and it all just came and just kind of settled down into a place of absolute peace. And so when I think of that experience, I think of this changing line of this important central idea, this symbolic stained glass window, whatever it is that you're working towards, of rallying and moving and putting your energy in to escape gravity. This is no mean feat, even though gravity is not a very strong force, is putting energy in to escape gravity. And you're going and you're going and you're going and you're going, and just when you think you can't anymore, you get there, okay? It's like what happens when you have a fever in your body. This particular changing line talks about you have this fever and you're hot and you're hot and you're hot and you're hot, and then the culmination of the illness happens the moment you break out into that sweat, right? And you just feel completely different. Like in a moment, your body's been working up to this point, getting rid of that bug, okay? And working and working and working and working, stained glass window, sweat, okay? And so as a person working with this line this week, that's the energy. There's a lot to be done to disperse the obstacle, to disperse what's preventing that achievement going through that glassed window. And so we put energy in and we rally, okay, and we get everyone around us to focus on what's important, and we push, push, push. We are defying gravity, okay? We are pushing, pushing, pushing. We're dispersing the stuck energy and the chaos, and we are bringing everything together, okay? And then we break out into the sweat, okay? That's what we're aiming for, that energy that we are aiming for this week. So whatever it is, push through it, okay? Have the great idea. There's an important project that's in front of you, and doing this and giving it the energy that it needs this week brings blessings, it brings connections, it brings an alignment to where you really need to be, and will flow, and there's lots of good stuff, okay? But what we have to do this week is just focus on that stained glass window, all right? We have to disperse and clear everything that's preventing us from going through that window, all right? Like incense does, it clears the air. Like a wind, it blows all the smog out the city. We put the energy in to disperse the things that are in our way, all right? Tapping into this idea of biting through from the monthly, there's a very lovely connection to this changing line to the monthly as well. So where does that lead? What's our second hexagram that we have to work with this week as we tap into and work with this idea of dispersing? It's hexagram 4, Youthful, Folly. Okay, so you know that I refer to the second hexagram often as a victory hexagram. What are we needing to do to pull ourselves through the week, right? To pull us through the development of pushing for the stained glass window, right? What is that thing that we move ourselves through? And youthful folly is the dangers and risks of our foolishness. Okay. And our foolishness often comes from thinking we know a situation when we don't. Okay. We've all experienced looking at teenagers or youth around us, and they're making decisions and they're having a philosophy of life, and you think, oh, you're going to suffer with that one because that's not how life works. Okay. And we've all been those teenagers and those young people thinking we are invincible and we have all the answers and we know how this is going to go down. So we've been in both positions, and so we can identify within ourselves where we feel like we've got this, we know what's going on, we see everything, we have the full view. But really, we are youngsters. We haven't even been able to see over the wall, right? There's someone standing next to us who's the adult who can see, and we are kind of not yet there. We are still, low. So we can't even see over the wall. We can't see the big picture yet. We work with this hexagram by accepting our inexperience. Accepting there's some things that we are still green at, okay? And so perhaps this week, the thing that we are trying to push through and dissolve, all right, and work through in pushing up through that stained glass window, it's an area where we have got learning to do. And the way we bring this exuberance of youth energy, okay, because the youth have this wonderful energy of like, nothing's impossible. They have this wonderful energy, but we can bring that energy if we have the maturity to say, we don't know. There's something here that we may not know that's beyond our reach. And what we're going to do instead is we are going to work at our learning process. Right? We're going to accept our inexperience, okay, and not be arrogant. And we're going to work at refining our learning, okay. We're going to not broach out into the world with our big plan, with lots of wild ideas. We're going to just focus on what we need to learn. We're going to just do what we know how to do. We're going to accept that there's things beyond us. And if we make some mistakes this week, we're going to forgive ourselves, because usually there are areas where we didn't see it. We didn't realize, I didn't know I had to do that. I didn't realize there was this implication. I didn't know how to do that. Those are the kinds of things we might find ourselves saying, and we just have to accept it and say, yep, take it off to school fees. We accept the learning. We accept there's things we don't understand. We didn't think ahead on some things because we didn't have the wisdom to know what was required. So we accept the learning and we embrace it with an attitude of openness and excitement and enthusiasm for learning new things. If we approach the week with that energy, with that openness, magic flows, because then we learn, and we learn in a culture, in an environment where we are then open to learning, as opposed to going into the learning process and saying, oh, we know, we've got this, we know how this works, and then you have those kinds of foolish moments that are very painful. Okay, all right, so we're going to work with that. We're going to accept our innocence, our youth, our inexperience. Hey, it's okay. We're all learning. We're all on a process of learning. Let's not get caught up in what has happened or the mistakes that have been made. Let's focus on what do we need to learn. How do we take that experience back into the learning process? Learn, learn, learn. Stay open. Be open to the wisdom of others who've been through the process over and over. They've got things to teach us. Reach out to helpers. Engage with people who know. Ask lots of questions. Okay, these are all things that we can bring into the week to work with that stained glass window, to work with dispersing the obstacle and putting our energy behind this grand idea, this great thing, this great project that's in front of us right now, and to push through and to get to that place of, okay, because we've triumphed through the relentless work that it has taken to get to that point. We're going to do it together. We're pushing for that glass window, for that achievement. Thank you so much for being with me here for the weekly overview. As always, a like or a thumbs up would be great. A comment would be great. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell or the follow button if you're on the podcast with me. And we will be together again very soon for our next weekly overview as we keep on working with the I Ching as a tool to focus our growth and development together.